All right, here we are. It's review time, and it's been 1 year since I bought my 2021 Silverado 1500 RST with the 3.0 LM2 Duramax diesel in it. And so 1 year, 20,000 miles. I'm going to break this down into chapters, so you can just click on whatever you want. If you don't want to listen to the whole thing, I'm totally fine with that. So I'm going to do issues, mileage, towing, mods, interior, exterior. We got favorite items and least favorite items, and that's how we're going to round it out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to it. All right, so let's start off with the issues. So I've had two issues with the truck. One was the long crank, no start. That's embarrassing when you have a brand new truck and you go to start it and everyone's looking at you and they just hear this engine cranking. Happened maybe once a month for about 6 months, and then it got corrected with a reprogramming. No big deal, sorted out under warranty. The final issue that I had with it was on remote start, it would fill the cab with just exhaust fumes and it stunk pretty bad. So that ended up being a back pressure valve, which was also covered under warranty. Quickly fixed, parts were available, no issues with that. So those are my two little minor things. I do want to make a note though. My previous truck was a white Silverado, same truck, but just white. It was a 2020. I'm sure you've seen the videos. If you haven't, feel free to check them out. But I had a couple issues with that truck. And one of them was the temp gauge, how it would go up to 3/4 all the time. And it would appear like it's about to overheat, but then it doesn't. It's just the discussions we had online were, it's basically just the way that it is, deal with it. So let me tell you, my 21 does not do that. It stays flat at right at the halfway point, and it maybe move a little bit, but that's it. It does not go near 3/4. The other thing to note on issues with these trucks is the fuel injector knock. You'll see a lot of people talking about that. My white truck had a lot of issues with that, where in regen, it would actually knock horrendously. And I have a video on that, and it was corrected by just doing a reprogram on the fuel injectors, essentially. It's just relearning, resetting, however you want to say it, the flow control, or the flow rates, excuse me. So they're pre-programmed, they've been pre-tested, and they have low flow rates on top of them. I can't speak right now, I'm sorry about that. So you can, the dealership can relearn those flow rates, and then it'll essentially wind it back down, and then it's relearning the fuel. So what I also learned on that was quality fuel makes a huge difference. So I converted over to Chevron pretty much exclusively at this point. And so I kind of just jumped around there, but the 21 does not make those horrendous noises that my 20 did. It did start to have a little bit of a injector knock, and I did do the relearn, and then it slowly started coming back. But then I converted to make sure that I just use Chevron. This is not a commercial for Chevron, but you're welcome, Chevron. And my engine is quieter. You would know if you have the injector knock when you hear it. So that's minor issues. That's it for the issues with this truck. 20,000 miles, 1 year of just constant use. I would say we're doing pretty good with just those two items, and hopefully everybody else's truck out there is doing the same. So let's get into mileage. This is a big one. Everybody loves the mileage of these Duramax diesels, and I do too. I enjoy talking about it whenever I talk to somebody. I definitely let them know that it's very fuel efficient and it's super awesome, and they should get one too. So let's go into my cluster here and see what we have for this truck. It's already on the 50, so that's 37.8 miles per gallon was my best. At the 25 mile range, 49.5 is my best there. And on the 400, we have 28.0, which is pretty darn good on a 400 mile span. And total miles, 20,619. We have an average of 20.8 miles per gallon. So that's amazing. I've towed with this vehicle. I've driven it extremely hard. I've cruised with it. I've done road trips. Lots of things. So to have an average of 20.8 miles per gallon over the span of 20,000 miles, it's pretty good in my book. So there you have it. That's the mileage up to 20,000 miles. So what do you think? Comment down below. Let me know just where you're sitting on your mileage. Did you beat my numbers? Did I beat your numbers? Let me know if I beat your numbers. And I'm sure everybody else that's watching the video wants to know what everybody else's numbers are. So feel free to comment in there, and let's discuss it. Let's see. Everybody loves fuel mileage, especially times right now. Fuel mileage is huge. All right, we're gonna do towing now. So towing is kind of a big thing for truck owners. Now, remember this is a 1500, so it's rated at, mine is rated at 9,100 pounds it can tow. And I have a video that I recently released where I'm sitting at the bottom of a hill and I bring it down to 30 miles an hour and then I just punch it and climb up the hill. And it shows just how hard this engine can work. Now, tows extremely well on with a flat trailer with a Camaro behind it, and that's aerodynamic. Now, I rented a trailer, big tall camper trailer. It was roughly 3,500 pounds total, and let me tell you, I can feel that thing right there. It was definitely more difficult to pull that than it was to pull my 6,000 pound Camaro and trailer combo. So the wind resistance on it, these trucks have a little bit of a more difficult time handling that. This is something to keep in mind. If you're gonna be towing big, yes, it's rated for 9,000 pounds, but I'll tell you, I'm not gonna get a 9,000 pound travel trailer and expect this thing to do well all the time. Maybe I'll do that once or twice a year max, but I think it's gonna be a chore. So keep that in mind, okay? Because again, this is my opinion, and that's why I'm posting up my review. And that was my experience with that trailer. Now, the other thing with these engines is the DEF consumption. So just regular driving barely drinks any. If you're gonna aggressively drive, it's gonna pour more DEF in there and it's gonna use it quicker. When you're towing, this thing swallows the DEF. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If you're gonna tow big, carry some DEF with you, or just get it at the truck stops. That seems to be the best value on DEF fluid. But that's one thing to keep in mind, is you're gonna use a lot of DEF when you're towing, and it does not like big wind resistance. I mean, if I had a headwind, I can only imagine. And I didn't climb any big hills or anything with this trailer, but I felt it. So keep that in mind. If you're towing big, you gotta be realistic with what you're after on these trucks. It's not a 2500. The 6.6 liter diesel is rated at close to 1,000 foot-pounds of torque for a reason. That's gonna pull the big loads. This is 460 foot-pounds of torque. It's awesome torque for daily driving, and for regular trailers that are aerodynamic. I mean, I fly 80 miles an hour with the Camaro on the trailer, as long as the speed limit allows it and it's safe. Safe is up to however you want to say it, or however you want to think. So keep that in mind when you're towing. That's just my opinion to you. And I don't know, if you're towing big and you have no problem with it, put it in the comments right there. Let the other people know that, hey, this guy's an idiot talking on here. I've towed big without a problem. Maybe I just suck. I don't know. I'm open to your opinions. Post it up. Let me know what you think. I like to have a little chit chat and the whole thread going there, as you can see. But I'm sure the people watching want to see other people's inputs on it as well, and share your experience. All right, we're in mods now. So I enjoy modifying my vehicles, and this truck definitely is no different than any other vehicle. So I bought the S&B intake, and I bought it for sound. I did not buy it for fuel mileage increase or power increase, because let's be realistic, an intake isn't going to give you much fuel mileage, if any, and horsepower increase, you're not going to feel it. Maybe you're better than I am and you can feel it. I don't feel any difference in it, but I bought it for sound, and it gives me the sound that I want. Check out this little parking lot clip that I did here. So that's with the tube. I did the tube, the box, and I pulled the side off of the box, and basically because I want sound, so that's what I got. And after that, I added the PP resonator delete, and that really didn't do anything when I posted the video, but now that I've driven it a little bit more, I feel like it might have done a little something. So when you're light throttle cruising, it just feels really good down low. I don't know if it's just the crisp air, but we've had crisp cold air for a little while, so before that, so I really don't think that's it. But light tipping too, when you're just cruising, it's very responsive. It definitely gets going on light throttle a little bit quicker. I think, is that the PP resonator delete, or is it just in my head? Couldn't tell you, but it's a $130 part. I think it was 130, maybe it was 120, somewhere in there. It wasn't that expensive. It's more of a bling factor, I guess. If you want it, get it. If not, don't even bother. But I do have an install video. Kind of, I installed it. It's super easy, so check that out. I did do the Eibach lift, and I did roughly 2.5 inches in the front, and I did a 1-inch block in the rear because I just believe that's the better way to look, just a little bit higher in the rear. And so what did that do? The install was not that bad. You do have to have the tools to do it, so don't try to do it at home. However, here's the thing, is this truck rode extremely well before I did that. It's very rough now with it on there, so it'll plow through speed bumps and dips really nicely, but I gave up some of the freeway. There's some bounciness there. This truck before I did this was the smoothest truck that I've ridden in, and I ruined that by putting that Eibach kit on there. It is a very nice kit, and I believe it definitely does exactly what I wanted, which was lift it, but I think I'm just getting old now, and I really don't want to have to deal with the harshness. So to each their own. My next truck won't have the Eibach, but it does look nice. It does look nice, and it's an all-around good kit. It's not that bad, but I got to point it out. It's my review. I got to point out all the stuff on there. So the black badges I threw on here too, the gloss black. I got the Z71 from Amazon and Genuine GM for everything else. I got an install video on those. Definitely recommend it on every color truck. I mean, even black trucks with the gloss black badges look phenomenal. So my dark blue looks great. Red's gonna look good. Highly suggest you get the badges on your truck for sure. And that's about it for the mods. I plow through a lot of rocks. I could tell because I can hear them going ching, 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 ching on the front bumper. And I'm getting little tiny rock chips on there, as you would expect. I'm not getting flakes of paint. I think overall the paint is of good quality. I do drive it through car washes with a, and it's holding up pretty good. So I do have a coat of wax on there. It's not ceramic coated by any means, but overall it holds up really nice. And I go probably once every week or two through those car washes, and it's not thrashing the crap out of my paint. So I think the paint's pretty good for what it is. But those minor rock chips, you're gonna get that with anything, but at least we're not flaking up or anything like that. So that's phenomenal. I'm happy with that because I really like the whole painted front end. That's why I went with the RST. So interior, driver's seat's holding up pretty good. You know, getting in and out of the seat on the driver's side, typically you're gonna get wear there and it's gonna roll it down, and it just looks like crap. So after a year and 20,000 miles, mine still looks excellent. And I do try to take my time getting in and out, so I'm not rubbing that seat. And it is leather, and it's holding up really well. So I'm pretty stoked with the extra that I paid for the leather. It's real nice. It's not like super nice, but it's a basic leather. You know, it's just a regular GM leather. So if you have any experience with GM leather, they have different levels. Basically, if you're going to get a high country, you're getting the really nice leather. So this is just leather, and it's good enough. And I think it's great. I mean, I have kids. They've spilled stuff back there. I have dogs, or a dog, and she drools all over the place or what have you, you know, and everything's holding up pretty good. So I'm going to say everything's good on paint and interior. I love the Apple CarPlay. Right when I get in, I plug my phone right in, and I use Waze, so that way if I'm thinking about speeding on accident, then I can see when there's a popo up there, and I can know to cool my jets. If you know what I mean, if you're a Waze fan, shout out to you. Keep marking them popos. I do. I try to help. Anyway, that's it for the interior exterior. So hopefully that helped. Okay, it is time for my favorite items here. So I ordered this truck with the multiplex tailgate, and I threw that on there just because I'm ordering a truck. Let's throw it on there. What the hey, it's first year for it. The GMCs came out with it before, and I don't know, it was like, whatever. I got it. It's the greatest thing ever. I will not get a truck if I have the option to get it every time I'm getting the multi-flex tailgate. That thing's just the way that it flips down. I moved my whole house by myself, just putting stuff in there, stepping up onto there. You can't beat it. It seems like it's just a gimmicky thing. It's not a gimmicky thing. It's pretty awesome. You can fold the tailgate down and flip it up. There's a lot that you can do with that tailgate. One other thing is loading up dirt bikes. You got the ramp, you can just walk right up there with it. You don't need a second person. It's so convenient. You gotta get it. You gotta get it. The other thing that I really like about this truck, obviously the Duramax engine, but I've preached enough to you about this Duramax engine, but the lights are phenomenal. I mean, they light up really well. There's a lot of newer vehicles, they're getting nicer lights. This is one of those vehicles that has really nice lights. So it definitely lights up the road real nice. The fog lights actually work and do a little extra. I like it. Multi-flex tailgate and the lights. Those are kind of my, aside from the Duramax engine, but those are my favorites. I really like those. Now, the least favorite item. One main thing that I wanted on this truck when I ordered it were those giant mirrors. And let me tell you, I hate those mirrors. I absolutely hate those mirrors. One, it's an RST. The truck is $57,795. I have the window sticker right here, just in case. But yeah, I don't know. You wanna see? So I mainly wanted those towing mirrors, and when I got them, I immediately noticed that you can't see anything. If you're sitting at a stoplight and there's somebody in the crosswalk to the left of you, you're not seeing them. You're blocked. You have to go like this and hope that you see somebody. Same for the right side. If you're gonna make a right turn and there's somebody there, I've had a lot of close calls. It's like, hey, sorry, I didn't see you there. I got giant mirrors. Excuse me. Really tough to see. You lose the forward vision, the rear vision, yeah. And with how big they are, they're humongous. They're probably like a negative 6 mile per gallon drop. Yeah, so I definitely won't be getting those again. The other thing is, I was getting to, and I think I got all sidetracked, but it's a $57,795 truck, and you're telling me that we can't have power folding mirrors? So whenever I go to these car washes, I get out, fold that mirror in, and then I roll through and then get out and fold it back out. If I wanted power folding, I had to get the LTZ, and then you gotta buy some big package to get that power folding feature in there. It's just ridiculous. These giant mirrors should totally just come standard at $58,000 nearly. Anyway, that's the end of my rant. So that wraps it up. All right, so I broke down everything. We got fuel mileage on there. I have not changed the fuel filter yet. We're at 20,000 miles. It still shows 25%. I'm gonna do a fuel filter, I think, next weekend, and they're pretty basic, super easy. It's just, in fact, I got it right here. So if you just let me grab this, 32 millimeter socket, fuel filter right there. So I'm gonna do that next weekend, most likely. And what else do we need to know? I've done basic oil changes, and that's it. I haven't touched the rear diff fluid, front diff fluid. Normally I like to do that. I bring that up because I do like to flush out the fluids because you got the gears meshing, but I haven't done anything. I've just basically put fuel in this thing and changed the oil roughly every 5,000 miles. Depends on if I'm towing or not. I kind of do it early if I'm towing. I just play it by ear on that. And it's done numerous regens. I left out, but I have the Banks gauge in there, and I do really like seeing the Banks gauge and being able to see everything that's going on with it in regards to the regens. So I highly suggest that. But I don't know if there's anything that I missed or that you're questioning on this, comment down below and let's discuss it. And until then, I mean, let's talk and chat, and then I'll do another video, check for the fuel filter. I ordered a 22 refresh. Stay tuned for that. I don't know, I got lots of ideas. We're coming out with a bunch of videos here to hopefully help out people because I enjoy talking about this stuff. So, till next time.